from Telstra Stadium in Sydney. It's the Bulldogs versus the Manly Sea Eagles.
Beautiful afternoon for rugby league, and the Bulldogs have a couple of changes. The surprise return of Matt Utai from a rib injury. He comes into the lineup. That means Trent Cutler will be omitted, and he played in the Premier League. Also, Nate Miles has been suspended, and Brad Moran is his replacement on the interchange bench in jumper number 19. The coach is Steve Folkes. Manly also has a change. Brett Stewart is out. He has a hand injury. Chris Hicks moves from wing to fullback, and Paul Stevenson comes into the starting lineup in jumper number 20. The coach is Des Hasler. Sean Hampstead, this afternoon's first grade referee, and we're underway at Telstra Stadium. The Bulldogs running left to right on your screen, defending the northern end of Telstra, and Mark O'Mealy has the first touch of the football. Here's Azatazi. 25 out from his own line. Corey Hughes out of acting half. At 15 short of the halfway line. Here's Willie Mason, his first run of the afternoon. Runs at Matt Orford, who picks him up, puts him on his back. In fact, it was Travis Burns, and there's a ball on the ground. And somehow, Stephen Bell has come from nowhere. In fact, it's Monahan has come from nowhere and picked it up, and Manly now in possession, in good field position, and the Bulldogs not respecting possession. Watmo.
Surrender!
Well, the surrender tackle, and he hadn't actually hit the ground. Now Kennedy. Azatazi with a good solid contact up top, and Willie Mason was the man around the legs. Burns now running across field. King Menzies straightening and almost through. Grimaldi there making the tackle. Now Monahan to Orford, looking for runners. Turns the ball back inside to Kennedy, who's tackled 10 metres out from the line. Mason slow to his feet after making the tackle. Here's Orford on the last, a chance. Travis Burns for the line. Can he get it down? He's trying. He throws the ball back to Matt Orford, who I think has picked it up cleanly and scored under the post. He has. What a start from Manly. They lead by 4 points to 0.
And that all comes from the drop ball on the 50-metre mark on the first set of 6, something that the Bulldogs did last week against South Sydney. Plenty of drop ball, which kept the South Sydney side involved in the game. Great running out of dummy half. Monahan turning the ball back inside. You just watched the defence of the Bulldogs. They weren't coming up in one straight line. There, Burns had a great start. Big tackle on Willie Mason on the other side first. Good try, Matty Orford.
Yeah, expect to see a lot more of this afternoon. Interchange of play around the rucks, trying to capitalise on the big fellas, the big forwards on the dead side of the ruck going to sleep. Travis Burns did extremely well, managed to keep the ball alive and promote the try. So great start there by the Sea Eagles.
And what about Matt Orford, who threw the ball to Burns, got tackled, and then was able to get up and continue in the play. And now he has the chance to convert his own try from right in front. Has little trouble in adding the extras, and so Manly couldn't have asked for a better start. They lead by 6 points to 0 with their first touch of the football, and the Bulldogs haven't been over the halfway line.
Yeah, real lack of communication on that first hit up there, or first set of hit up there from the Bulldogs. At a dummy half, the ball went astray. Lack of torque on that advantage line running, and that's something we don't normally see from the Bulldogs.
Very deep kick-off to restart play, and Jason King returns the ball 10 metres into the field of play. And Manly needs a solid set here to get down the other end. Good run there by Brent Kite. Kennedy. Towards the 30 he goes. Almost in centre field. Now Watmo running hard. 3 Bulldogs in there to make the tackle. Last man up was Mark O'Mealy. That pass from Monahan hitting Kite in the face almost, and apologised to his teammates for going the wrong way. I think the call was from Orford, who now gets it, looking for the touchline. Doesn't go close to that mark, and Patton returns the football, and Orford comes up with the tackle. We've got some assistance from Jason King.
It's a good set of 6 there for the Manly side. Good kick and chase. And just see they really have turned up here today. Have a big game against this big Bulldogs forward pack. And Matt Orford really taking good control of the game so far. involved in another tackle.
Now, Steve Maddai making this tackle, he's been limping, and the play hasn't been near him. He might have just twisted an ankle slightly. The trainer was just out to him. Seems to be all right now, but maybe just losing his footing or something on the way up, chasing that kick, which would have been a blow. That ball may go over the dead ball line. In fact, it does. Chris Hicks watches it. The trainer with Steve Maddai. You'd be disappointed to lose one of your key players.
But he's been
when the ball's not near him.
Absolutely. You just see the trainer just walking away there, but it's not only his defence that's been so well this year, Steve Maddai, it's his running game. You saw in that first set of 6 where he sticked off that left foot and straightened up. He's got plenty of pace.
Stevenson playing it. Here's Steve Bell. He's been in terrific form for Manly so far this season. Looking to score another try this afternoon. He's already scored 7 in 7 games. Monahan looking for runners. Last tackle and Orford's gone into acting half. The option there is Travis Burns on the right-hand side over the head of Utah. Has he got too much on it? It just is over the dead ball line, not by much, but it's a 20-metre restart here for the Bulldogs.
And a little bit flat, the Bulldogs, they look to me. I mean, last week we saw Sonny Bill Williams when he came on. It was late in the first half, and he really did spark the Bulldogs into action. They just look to me to be, I don't know what it is, but a yard off the pace in terms of their enthusiasm. I think we're going to see Sonny Bill on a lot earlier today because the Bulldogs can't afford to let the Sea Eagles get the jump on them in this game.
Maddai making the tackle. He'll get penalised there.
Get a second go at him. Get a second go at him. Can't do it.
And just when you have a team on the back foot, those sorts of penalties are not one that a coach would like to see given away.
Well, no, that's correct, Mark. But just as the referee, he could have been penalised there for a little bit of a hand around the neck area. Then he holds on a little bit too long. That's Maddai.
And merely pops it out the back, and Kennedy has come up with it. Did he lose it? No. The touch judge says play on, says the referee. Ben Kennedy was almost like he was waiting for an invitation to dance.
Well, that's twice now the Bulldogs, when they've had the ball, they've let it go really early. Great take there by Willie Mason, trying to spur his side on here. They need to control the ball, though.
King.
They'll throw hands off now, let him up. Move it now. Oh, fellas.
Steve Maddai still limping with trainer Jeff Tuvey, and there's another big tackle from Willie Mason. Maybe he's taking it on his own back to lift his teammates. Orford. Ordinary ball went backwards, and Menzies flicks it back to Orford. The crowd didn't like it, but never went forward. Now Burns hitting a tackle by Ryan, but was able to bounce away. Last tackle here for Manly. Monahan out of acting half with a kick for the in goal. Is it well weighted? It's going to be very well rated, and Utah has got some work to do. He's still struggling, and I thought he was going to pass. In fact, he's lost the ball, and Matt Orford has been gifted a second try.
Just checking that he didn't ground the ball before the melee player comes through and put it down.
Well, a good decision here by referee Hampstead to look to see if he actually forced the ball down. But it's the kick out of dummy half. The Bulldogs not getting up their line, and defensively it does hold up beautifully. Matt Utah has to make a decision. You just see him step off there. He seems to take a big bit of grass with him. And does he force ball here? I think that's play on.
Who is it, Stevenson or Orford that gets the try?
No, it's Matty Orford that gets the try right there. You see another try to Matt Orford. And before this game, he's only scored one.
He's scored now 2 if we're going to give it to him. Here's the decision from Phil Curley. Should be a try. And there it is. Matt Orford has got himself a double, and the Bulldogs are well and truly on the back foot. Matt Utah, his first touch on his return from a rib injury, and he just tried that little bit too hard.
I agree with what Wayne was saying before. They just look like they're off pace of the game. They look like they know they can win the game, but they just don't want to get themselves involved. And it's a little bit crazy there trying to offload that situation now. Orford looking to add the extra 2 right in front. Should have no difficulties with this.
So Matt Orford has now scored all Manly's points to start the game. We haven't even had 10 minutes of play, and Manly lead by 12 points to 0. And when will we see Sonny Bill thrown into the action as Des Hasler looks on?
And it was a tremendous kick by Monaghan that started. I thought the kick was a little bit too long, but perfectly weighted in the end. Now, Matt Utai, who's been out for a month with injury, comes back, trying to get back into the field of play. But look at the support, defensive support there for Manly. They were up there in numbers, 6 players, forced the error. Tremendous start. But as we keep saying, the Bulldogs, they look down, they look flat. They need someone to lift them. Willie Mason's doing his best, but he can't do it on his own.
Brent Kite will play it, 15 out from his own line. Manly, in their wildest dreams, wouldn't have thought they'd be up by 12, and the way they're up by 12.
But it's also, when you look at the Bulldogs, they are just making too many errors. Something that they don't really do. And throughout the season in 2006, not only making around about 11 per game, Manly are making 12. They're in the top 4 of making the less mistakes in what they've done already in this game.
Another great kick has pinned Utai deep inside his own 20. And the chase is very good from Manly. Tonga. Manly muscling up in defence, trying to force another error. The Bulldogs fans doing their best to try and get the home side. The penalty, Sonny Bill is up, warming up with the rest of the bench for the Bulldogs. I wouldn't imagine it'll be too far away from some changes for the Bulldogs, as Ryan has tackled just short of halfway. Emilio around the legs, Watmo, and over the top is Brent Kite. Here's the last, comes to Holdsworth, and Stephen Menzies read it very well on his back there to take it on the full, and so comfortably.
He made it look so easy, didn't he? He just knew that Holdsworth down this right-hand edge was putting the ball back across the field, trying to catch the fullback Patton out of position. Menzies beautifully positioned. That's experience.
Bell beats the first tackle again. He's now tackled in centre field, 30 out. Orford, now Kite. He and King have been very heavily involved in the opening stages.
And Brent Kite's really stepped up. Ben Kennedy, the back row, Watmout, Menzies have been playing well all season, but Brent Kite has stepped up the last few weeks, and he's really starting to assume the senior role in the team that the club's been looking for.
Last tackle, was that touched by Patton or not?
Didn't touch it.
Didn't touch it, says the referee. The way he turned and chased Luke Patton gave me the impression that he thought he might have got a fingertip to it.
Well, I thought the same too. You could just see him, he put his hands up. He thought he could take the ball around about 10 to 12 metres off his own try line. And then, I agree with you, Mark, he turned, raced back there, thinking, well, I may have touched this. I don't want to have a drop out.
One key also for Manly, quite extraordinarily, is that from, 6 in, from 6 into their forwards, every player has played every game so far this season.
But the thing is that they've given a young kid, that Travis Byrne, an opportunity, and number 6, he's been playing some good football, and he's a good defender. He's only small, but he's not scared to get in there and mix it with the defence.
Hey, mate, I told you let him go, and you had another go at him. You can't do it. It's twice now.
Yeah, well, Steve Maddai comes in once again. He's aggressive, and obviously the referee has called tackle there. A bit tough because Luke Patton looked as though he wanted to get up and play on in terms of continuing the run. So a little unfortunate, but still first real attacking opportunity for the Bulldogs.
Hughes now wide to Willie Mason. He's in a bit of space, pops it back to Holdsworth. Here's an opportunity. Tonga for the corner, and the first chance they've had, or first time they've held on to the football at least, the Bulldogs, they're over in the corner. 12-4 with a kick to come, and it came back to that penalty conceded from Steve Maddai.
And that's the second penalty that he's given away for virtually the same infringement, holding on too long. Sean Hampson said, no, you've got to let go. Watch Willie Mason going to the line and get in the offload. Holdsworth comes around the back. Then they straighten up. They've got the numbers on, and there's nothing much that Stevenson could do. And a good run there by Tonga to score the opening try for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, sloppy defence there. Steve Menzies comes in, and Travis Burns comes in. Steve Bell holds out, so they didn't come in as a unit. As a result, the Bulldogs were able to keep the ball alive and got the overlap. So they're going to come up and in the Manly side, particularly that right side defence. They've got to come up and in as a unit and do a little bit more talking. But first opportunity for the Bulldogs, and they take it.
So it hasn't. 14 gone in the first half to make it a converted try the difference. He struck it reasonably well and struck it very well. I'm not sure that he kicked it the way he wanted to, but it's got inside the right-hand upright. And 12 points to 6, Manly over the Bulldogs. He can kick a goal, can't he?
Oh, he's unbelievable. The pressure's on him. They're behind on the scoreboard. And this is the try. Just when Willie Mason gets that ball, I think that the Manly defence were unsure. They thought the ball was going to actually go in behind. And that opened up that defence on their right-hand edge. Well, you said, Wayne, they started to play up and in, but they didn't realise Willie was going to get the ball.
Important set here for the Bulldogs to get to their kick after scoring that try. Azatazi. That's a much better run on the Bulldogs' number 10. Ryan slipped as he came to Stephen Menzies. Grimaldi goes into acting half. Holdsworth turns the ball back to Mason, who's been heavily involved. Hughes, quick hands. Grimaldi just didn't have the pace to get away from Menzies. 10 metres short of the halfway line. Now, solid tackle from Maddai there on Emilio. Last tackle here right on the halfway line. Now Holdsworth again with the kick. It's between Stevenson and Hicks. At the end it goes towards Paul Stevenson, who's hitting a solid tackle from Grimaldi and also Rennie Matua.
Yeah, going to be some very sore boys after the game this afternoon, because both packs of forwards were now big hitters in defence, so there's going to be some torrid exchanges in there, and it's going to really test the character both teams, particularly late in the second half.
Just feel a sense of a change in the tide here. Manly's slow to get back there. Bell had no one to pass to when he went into acting half. That ball hit the ground, and Manly just very flat at the moment. As Kennedy, captain, tries to lift them somehow. Last tackle, just short of the halfway line. Manly's into the field, and Orford will kick on 5. And this time, instead of finding open space, it finds Matt Utai.
You can see the intensity now that the Bulldogs have lifted up a gear, and Matt Orford screaming at his side to get in there and defend up. Going to play nice and tight around the ruck area. That's where the Dogs are certainly going to try and dominate. Down the middle. O'Neilly once again. Good tackle.
This is Holdsworth. And there's a mistake from Azatazi. Watmo picks it up. He won't have the pace to get away from the defence, but he's had the ball stripped. 2 in the tackle.
There was 2 in there. That was stripped. 2 in the tackle, stripped.
Can Manly take the 2 or keep the pressure on?
I think they need to keep the pressure on. Ball back inside Azatazi. Should have turned a little bit quicker than that. And there's the 2-on-1 situation. This there. Fair enough penalty. And they do keep the pressure on. Here's a great opportunity here for the Seagulls. Just watch Orford.
King, 5 metres out from the line. Grimaldi with the tackle. Burns. Brent Kite had slightly overrun it, and then Burns had to take the tackle himself, a couple out from the line. Now here's Orford. Kennedy running the angle, pops the ball back through the hands of O'Malley, so 6 to go. Stephen Menzies now. He settles it down and doesn't try and score a try on 0 tackle. Monaghan. Just a lack of organisation here at the moment from Manly. Orford now calls for it from Maddai. Inside to Kite. No depth in the attack from Manly, though. Close to the Bulldogs' line. Here's Monaghan. Hicks. Back to Kite. Now Menzies. The Bulldogs holding at the moment. Great ball, Steve Menzies. Stephen Bell won't score. He'll get it on the outside to Paul Stevenson. Well, Stephen Menzies hasn't scored a try yet this year, but that was his try. Great ball. 16 to 6 with a kick to come.
And there was really nothing happening there for the Manly side. The Bulldogs, they stood and waited, and then Tonga on that left-hand edge He's decided to come flying up out of the line. You can see they're all set. They're passing the ball around. They're all in a group. They're the Manly players. Menzies just jumps across the line, throws along. There's Tonga coming up and in, and he was the man responsible for creating that opportunity for Stevenson's to score. And
similar lead up to the try that Matty Orford scored, the first try, where they switched the ball back across the face of the ruck and caught the dead side defenders asleep. The Canterbury, or the Bulldogs, left side defenders just weren't alert. Menzies saw that, threw the long pass and caught them short. So great work to switch the ball back through the centre of the ruck and catch the Bulldogs short on that dead side.
21 metres out, about 8 metres in from the eastern touchline. He struck it very well, and there's the extra 2 points for Manly. And Matt Orford kicks his third goal. It's 18 points to 6. And Manly answer the challenge from the Bulldogs.
There they are, just going around the middle of the ruck. Just look at the Bulldogs' defence. Standing. Grimaldi doesn't keep going across. When Rennie Matua started to come in, so did Tonga. And then Matt Utai got caught out in the 2-on-1 situation on that right-hand side. He stood and waited.
So halfway through the first half, and it's Manly up by 12. I don't think it'll be too long before we see a couple of changes for the Dogs. As now Kite will play it. Monahan to Orford. Now Kennedy, slightly flat-footed when he got the football. He tries to get that right arm free. And if he had, Watno was waiting. Maddai. Well, Andrew Ryan was neither marking nor back 10 and could easily have been penalised, although Maddai slipped. Now Corey Hughes was at least 3 metres offside then. Now Menzies will have to kick. And Patton straight through the legs. So everyone is onside, those that were in front of the kicker. And Patton was tackled as someone loses their mouth guard, and it was Brent Kite. 20 out from the line. Hazem El Masri now.
That's an area that the Bulldogs are going to have to really watch. If they're going to get off their line that quick, put pressure on the kicker. If they don't all go together, the Manly side have got attackers from many, or they will promote the football in the last play.
Crowd wanting a penalty, but the referee said Marco Mealy had run 10.
And this is when the Bulldogs are playing well. It's when you've got O'Mealy over the advantage line, followed by Mason, followed by Asatasi. It lays a platform for their outside backs. That's what they've got to get back to, the basics in the middle of the ruck.
Chris Hicks, well taken, under no real pressure. Emilio must have been called out of it, and if he was, surely he got involved in the play and could have been penalised.
Yeah, but when you talk about the Dogs' kicking game, it's been very ordinary today. They've put a couple of long kicks downfield that have gone directly to the fullback or the winger. One of the kicks has gone dead in goal. The kicking game just hasn't clicked as yet. It's a reflection, I think, of their lack of intensity.
Chris Ahmed is on for Marco Mealy and is one of the players making the tackle there with Grimaldi and Corey Hughes. 10 short of halfway. Now Jason King. Good tackle there from Corey Hughes around the legs on 5. So Monahan this time will kick out of acting half over the head of Utai. Will he find touch? He does. And will give everyone the opportunity to have a bit of a breather as King comes off for Manly and Mark Bryant is going on.
Yeah, they've got some good options, Manly, in terms of their kicking game. Smart play by Monahan there. He realises Matt Orford's been put under a little bit of pressure with his kick clearing game. So Monahan says, I'll kick out a dummy half, take the pressure off. And a tremendous kick in the end as well.
Then you throw Travis Burns into the mix. We've got 3 options there if
exactly.
either of them are under pressure as well.
Outside foot forward, locks her in. Outside foot forward, locks her in, fellas. Down we go. Then you go, Anthony, in the get scrum, mate. Down.
Louis Tonga.
Well, one Steve moves his hands off. Well, now come on.
This is Ahmed, who's on, as I mentioned, for Marco Mealy. He's making the slow walk around to the Bulldogs bench. Corey Hughes out of acting half with a dummy. Hicks to beat, and Hicks, almost wrong-footed, comes up with a very good tackle. Holdsworth. Oh, solid defence there from Maddai on Matua. Felt that up here.
That's a great hit. He's been doing that all season.
That shook Rennie Matua up a little bit. Now, Mason. Tried to run over the top of Ben Kennedy, who held on and got some assistance from a couple of teammates, Bryant and Kite. Holdsworth kicking. No real chase here from the Bulldogs, and Stevenson had it bounce up nicely for him. But they're pinned inside their 10 here, Manly.
Just think that with the Bulldogs, their kicking game, I think being that close, he's got to put the ball in the air, put some pressure. Holdsworth's got to put the ball in there, put some pressure on the Manly catches and Stevenson and Hicks. Oh, good tackle that, Corey Hughes.
And Mark Bryant. Maddie.
Doesn't he love getting there, running out of dummy after he makes a good 10 to 15 minutes every time, Maddie?
There's Monahan from inside his 30. It's heading towards the touchline, but Utai has it covered. And runs straight at Stephen Bell. Travis Burns is there to help with Stevenson as well.
And once again, that smart play there by Monahan. He realised that the Bulldogs' defence was pretty solid. They were pretty set, and they put a couple of stingers on already. Let's get the ball out of here. We don't want to get knocked around too much and try and force an error again into the Bulldogs.
Holdsworth out of Ryan. Numbers here. And Emilio back on the ground. Hazem El Masri picks it up and is immediately tackled by Michael Robertson. Adam Perry coming on for Corey Hughes for the Bulldogs. Ahmet takes it forward.
I think that's what the Dogs have to do. They've got to start promoting the ball 2 passes wide. They've got some great attacking backs. Play them on the edge a little bit, the Manly defenders, because they're coming up and in.
Here's Holdsworth putting the ball high to the wing of Michael Robertson. He waits for it and takes it very well.
That's a better kick. Pressure coming through. He catches the ball, but he's tackled straight away. That's the sort of pressure the Bulldogs will keep applying to both wingers here tonight.
Shane Dunley on for Manly. His 50th first-grade game for the club, replacing Michael Monahan.
The most amazing thing so far in this game for me is that the completion rates. Manly have completed every single set, 14 out of 14 so far, which is amazing when you consider the pressure the Bulldogs have put them under. You can see there the Bulldogs on the other side of the coin only completed 9 out of 13, so big possessions swing towards Manly, and they're making the most of the ball that they've had.
Not played at, but Dunley will win the race. Will he keep it on the toe? He gets a perfect bounce. Now the ball comes back to Watmo. Keeps it alive to Dunley. Robertson comes away from the touchline. The defence is there and they bring him to ground. Well, Manly butchered that. They had an opportunity if they got it wider earlier. Robertson doesn't know it's the last tackle. Wasn't played at. And Sonny Bill's about to come on.
Well, they need some sort of inspiration, don't they, the Bulldogs? And he may be the man to give it to them. Good bit of play. Backing up, Dunley down the middle, kicking the ball through, regathered. That's all they needed.
But give the Bulldogs a big rap as well. Their scrambling defence on that on that particular episode there showed a sense of urgency. Hopefully they're starting that'll reflect in the other elements and other aspects of their game. They've just got to start doing things a lot quicker, a lot more urgently.
Azatazi, Willie Mason, the man that will be coming off for Sonny Bill to make his second appearance this year. And you can hear the crowd in the background as Sonny Bill Williams is on, as the kick goes downfield. And Chris Hicks has it covered. So 12 and a half out from half-time. And you lead by 12, and there's some solid defence. Andy Matua was the man. Sonny Bill, he wanted to get involved early and does with a trademark Sonny Bill shoulder charge.
Oh, isn't it great that a player can come from the bench and ignite, one, his team, and two, the crowd that have tuned up here today to watch this game. As soon as he gets up off the ground, you see him on screen. He's big, he's strong, he's fast. I love when he gets involved. It's fantastic.
Makes the tackle twice there on Stephen Menzies. Now Kennedy down the blind side, running at Holdsworth. And last tackle here for Manly. Orford looking for the touchline. Luke Patton is watching it, and we'll watch it go over the touchline just inside the corner post, but we'll come out to the 10-metre line. And the Bulldogs will get the loosen feed, and both teams are looking forward to a breather. As it's been played at a pretty frantic pace. And Manly completing another set.
I think that Wayne Pearce mentioned it, the amount of sets they are completing. Here he goes, bang. it's sort of like a half a shoulder charge and a tackle at the same time. He doesn't really turn his body side on like most shoulder charges do.
Outside foot forward. Down.
Patton.
One hands off now, let him up.
This is Sonny Bill Williams. 30 metres out from his own line. Holdsworth inside to Azatazi. He's hitting a solid tackle there from Mark Bryant. Dunley in there also. Holdsworth, and that hurt Azatazi. Picked up by Andrew Ryan. It was an ordinary pass. Ahmed. And Roy Azatazi really sucking in the big ones. The trainer on his way out to him. That tackle from Mark Bryant shook the big front row up a little bit. And that kick straight down the throat of Chris Hicks.
Yeah, once again, an example of the poor kicking game that the Bulldogs have got. I mean, they're being outclassed not only in terms of their kicking game, but in terms of their support play and their just advantage line thrust. Manly are playing a slick professional game off the back of enthusiastic...
Penalty in possession. Michael Robertson.
It was a surrender tackle. I'll tell you what it was. It was a surrender tackle, and he can't play the ball when he's ready. He's on the ground like that. No way.
Well, the referees have been hard on this throughout the whole year, and I agree with them totally. If they're going to surrender, you can just see Michael Robertson getting down on the ground and then trying to play the ball before he's got to his feet, and that's fair enough.
Marco Mealy on for Roy Azatazi, and an opportunity here for the Bulldogs. Sonny Bill pops it out the back, and Willie Tonga picks the football up. Tackled by Stevenson. Matua now to Armits. Inside the 10 they go. Slowish play the ball. Holdsworth to Ryan. Grimaldi goes inside, so does Emilio, and Patton was the second man. It was well read there by Manly, and Orford made the tackle. Now O'Mealy run around with Grimaldi. They've got numbers here. Perry to Sonny Bill Williams. He just throws it away. He tried to force the miracle ball, and Manly has survived.
And he's a tremendous player, a tremendous athlete, Sonny Bill Williams. But one of the things that he's got to overcome is this obsession with trying to offload the football virtually every time he carries the ball forward. That'll come with experience. I mean, he's still only 20 years of age, and he's trying to do his best for the team. But in so doing, he's created a few too many mistakes, or he does have a tendency to create a few too many mistakes.
Well, that penalty by Michael Robertson, that was the first incomplete set for Manly in the game. George Rose making his debut for Manly, former Rooster. Dunley gets the penalty. Grimaldi.
You're either up or back, mate. You can't be in no man's land.
And you could see Shane Dunley just picked him out there, went straight at him.
He does it so well, Shane Dunley. He gets out a dummy half. Him and Monahan do a very good job for the Sea Eagles.
That high.
One ends off now, let him up. Move it now.
Orford to George Rose. That's the 30-metre line he'll play it on. In centre field at Telstra Stadium. Travis Burns. Now to Hicks, straightening. Couldn't get through the tackle of Sonny Bill after beating the first tackle. Plays it back. Bryant to Rose. Oh, he had that arm waiting to pop the ball. He's wrapped up there by Perry. Now, Orford with the kick. Here comes Maddai. He may have got a hand before hasn't.
Just check here, we haven't got a simultaneous touchdown. That'll be the fifth and last.
If it's simultaneous, it's a try. And Hazem El Masri and Luke Patton got in each other's way. If it is a simultaneous touchdown, it's a try to Manly.
And I think it may be that Maddai is onside. That's not a problem. Luke Patton trying to kick the ball. I think he's got a try. Yep, that to me.
Well, I think the question is, did Hazem El Masri get his hand on the football before Maddai? I don't think he did. If it was simultaneous, which I think at the very worst, that's what it is.
I think he was trying to pick it up. Hazem was trying to actually pick the ball up, and I'd say that's a try, not a problem. There.
That's almost a dictionary definition of simultaneous touchdown. They both touch the ball at the same time. It's a try.
Yeah, I think it's a textbook case, and I don't think that'll be a problem. I think that'll be a try to Steve Maddie, and well placed and well planned by Matty Orford.
He's been busy today, hasn't he? Matty Orford going to the line, putting the kicks in the passing. Here's the result. Try.
And there's the try to Steve Maddie. Well, Manly has scored 3 of the strangest tries in the first half of this game. 2 to Matty Orford, now 1 to Steve Maddie.
But it just shows you that when the kicks are put in, you've got to put your chase team through. Maddie out here nice and wide. They could have even put the ball through their hands, and when no, we'll go the other way. We'll get a repeat set. And one thing I really like is Orford going to the line, bringing the defence to him, and bang, there she goes.
An 18-point buffer for Manly will take some bridging from the Bulldogs. Orford adds the extras, and so 24 points to 6. Who would have thought it approaching half-time? And there is 1,000 career points for Matt Orford. 2 tries and 4 goals today for another milestone for the Manly number 7.
He's given the Manly side good direction today. His kicking game, along with Monahan jumping out of the dummy half area. But it's just players that are getting around him and running into holes. That's what he was like when he was at the Storm. Good direction, kicking when it's the right time. The Dogs just don't look interested, do they?
Well, they've looked flat for most of the first half. I think what they want to do at half-time is go into their kit bags and get the bunch of enthusiasm out of their kit bags and stick it into their jumpers for this second half, because they are really looking flat. And the Sea Eagles, I mean, the Sea Eagles look a little bit flat as well. They had a big contest last week against the Dragons and they lost by 2 points, so it was emotionally going to be tough for them to get up. But they are not quite at their best, but they're making the Bulldogs look very ordinary.
Matt tackle is the last for Manly. Orford with the kick again. It was almost like he deliberately kicked that over the dead ball line just to give his players a chance to have a bit of a breather. He really laid into that one.
I think he knew what he was doing too. Just trying to slow things down just a fraction. Just keep the Bulldogs, turn the bigger forwards around as Rennie Matua nearly makes a bust through the middle once again. Travis Burns makes the tackle.
Armit towards the halfway line, just over the 40. Bryant, one of the men making the tackle. George Rose has come from the field for Manly. Perry out of acting half, trying to catch the Manly defence around the ruck. Being a little bit lazy. Stephen Menzies had his back turned to get back to 10, but Jason King made the tackle. Ryan having to reach for it, finds Grimaldi. Matt High there again with Orford to make the tackle. Here's Holdsworth kicking for the wing of Utah. Is it too deep? Stevenson has taken it over the touchline. He got no communication from his teammates. It was clearly going over the touchline.
Yeah, it was a pretty tough one, though, because he's looking into the sun. You can see out there, he's in the sunshine, looking up directly into the sunlight. May have even lost sight of where he was relative to the sideline. It'll give the Bulldogs another crack at attack.
That's what I was saying, Wayne. You'd expect a teammate may yell out to him or give him some assistance in that situation.
As long as the crowd's that loud that you can't really hear the communication out there.
Tonga, they need a try here, don't they? The Bulldogs just before half-time, critical stage of the game. 3 minutes to the break. Patton, O'Mealy running the decoy. They're inside the 10. 24-6, Manly over the Bulldogs. Short ball there from Perry to Ryan, who tries to force his way over. No way through on this occasion. Holdsworth, Matua. Tackled by Orford. Quick play, the ball. O'Mealy had to reach behind him. Pops it back to Perry. They must score. No, Maddie has somehow saved the day. He put his head down and said, right, I'm going for Andrew Ryan. And now they get a penalty.
Never onside, mate.
I hear the referee there saying he's not onside. But Maddie's been doing it all season, Wayne. He's coming in off his centre position and taking the man ball and all.
Well, I thought he was lucky he didn't get ruled a knock on, actually. I thought Maddie might have got a hand to the football. But it's what amazes me is the difference in the styles of Steve Matai and Stephen Bell, the two centres from Manly. Matai, rough and tumble, likes to get in there and mix it, whereas Stephen Bell, very graceful, likes to find the holes, and equally effective on the far side of the field. They complement each other superbly.
What no? Manly will take at least, you would think, an 18-point lead into the break. They've got an opportunity here to add some to it. Would they think about a field goal before half-time to make it 19?
I'll be more worried about the little kick in behind the line with the defence like the Bulldogs put up. Where he goes, oh, just caught it just in time.
Back to Kennedy, now to Watmo, going back towards the centre of the field. Burns almost through. Try saver there from Armour. Last tackle here for Manly. Comes to Orford. He puts the ball into the sun. Utai and Stevenson. They don't want the field goal. They'll get a try, and they may have blown the game open before half-time. 28-6 Manly. The kick into the sun, and Matt Utai lost it completely. And Paul Stevenson, 30 seconds ago, took the ball over the touchline down the other end. Now he's got himself a double.
And that's what's happened in this game. Manly particularly lined down the other side. Then they come back. Great vision here by Matty Orford to put it up against Matt Utai, a much smaller man than Paul Stevenson. He puts the kick over, just beautifully weighted, and he gets there. Like you said, we've taken out the end, the other end. I do not know what he's doing here. I do not know. I don't know what try celebration that is. It must have some sort of meaning. Paul Stevenson.
So Matt Orford, who's kicked 4 from 4, and in doing so with his 2 tries, registered 1,000 career points. He's about to make it 30 points to 6. Right on half-time. Just across the face of the post, though. It's about the only blemish so far in the first half for Manly. They lead the Bulldogs by 28 points to 6.
Updating Fox Sports News. Roger Federer's hopes of a Grand Slam win in Paris have taken a battering after a 4th loss to Rafael Nadal. Nadal has beaten Federer on the clay in Monte Carlo. Another US PGA tournament has been won by an Australian, with Stuart Appleby taking out the Houston Open. West Ham is through to its first FA Cup final in 26 years after beating Middlesbrough 1-0. Socceroo Mark Schwarzer has suffered a suspected fractured cheekbone in the game, and his World Cup dream is in doubt.
Get the complete picture with Fox Sports News tonight at 7.
Harvey Norman gives you 18 months interest-free. Buy now and pay no deposit with no repayments and no interest for 18 months. That's 18 months to pay for your new sofa, dining or home office furniture. 18 months on bedding, bedroom suites and bed linen. 18 months on the latest and greatest technology and home appliances. 18 months on a new computer, notebook, clever gadgets and high-tech entertainment. That's no deposit, no repayments and no interest for 18 months. How good is that? It's time to go shopping now at Harvey Norman.
I'd say it's definitely worth coming down and checking out Bunnings. The range here is absolutely amazing. We'll suit any home DIY, a weekend warrior to a tradie.
20-piece screwdriver set, only $29.98. Multifold ladder, $149. Outdoor bistro blind, $88. Storage container, just $12.98. If you happen to find a cheaper price on a stocked item, we'll beat it by 10%.
I think you're mad if you don't come in and check us out.
Bunnings Warehouse. Lowest prices are just the beginning.
Not this. Not that. Not whatever.
Not a trend. Not an afterthought.
Not a quiet night in. Not a compromise.
Not for everyone. Not meant to be.
It just is.
The bourbon.
Every game, every week. Every game, every week.
Hey, mate.
Yes?
What are we doing?
Foga.
Right.
Every game.
What's Foga?
Footy yoga. The ability to concentrate on one thing
from March to October.
Oh, magical!
Nice one. Fogo. Every game, every week.
And Manly lead by 28 points to 6, and that is not the start they wanted, Manly, and just the start the Bulldogs are after. A simple drop ball from Anthony Watmore.
I thought, what sort of a kick-off's that? It's a nothing kick that was going. There was no real depth to it, and Anthony Watmore made it into a brilliant kick in the end.
Not for him, though, Junior. Not for him. But it'd be interesting what would be said to the Bulldogs at half-time. How aggressive are they going to be? I reckon Stephen Folks would have given their forwards a mouthful.
And Sonny Bill standing out from the scrum, pushes away from Burns. He may have lost the ball. He has. Stephen Menzies coming over the top to make the tackle. And that sort of sums up the Bulldogs' afternoon as well. And hopefully he's just taking his time to get up Sonny Bill because he's disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, the great thing about Sonny Bill is he looks dangerous every time he runs the football, but the disappointing thing and the thing he's got to learn is that at this level of football, you're not going to be able to offload the ball every time. And that's the second time in 2 touches that we've seen him come up with drop balls because he's trying to keep the football alive.
Anthony Watmore breathed a huge sigh of relief. Stephen Bell, Manly trying to catch the Bulldogs. A little bit of a sleep on the blind side, and Shaun Hampstead was also caught there. Stevenson. Shane Dunley screaming for a penalty, but the referee yelled out surrender, which meant the defence had a lot longer to hold the tackle player down. Kennedy. Towards the 40 he goes.
And how good's Kennedy? I mean, that's his 12th hit up for the afternoon. Gets over the advantage line every time he takes the ball forward. And he's been doing that week in, week out all season. Real inspirational player in the backbone of this Manly side.
Orford puts the ball high. And Azam El-Masri under it takes it very well straight away to Luke Patton. The Manly chase got up there and Dunley led the charge to make the tackle.
And that was a better set really by the Bulldogs, getting up off the line, put some pressure on the man that was going to put the kick in. That was Matt Orford. Better run by Sonny Bill Williams.
Utah. Perry out of acting half has a merely with him, and as he went to pass the football he got tackled, and the pass was an absolute shocker because of it. And Manly have come up with possession in the Bulldogs' end of the field. Matai trying on the outside of Holsworth, realised he couldn't, and Robertson was there to take the pass. Watmore inside the 30 he goes. Mark Bryant. Now Burns. Here's King. Menzies under pressure as well to hang on to the football. Willie Tonga up there straight away. Here's the last. And Burns puts it high. Dunley's offside. Orford's not. Patton in the field to play. Back into the in-goal area. That'll be a goal line dropout. It was centimetre perfect from Burns.
He did well putting the kick up. And then Matt Orford, a good chase. Kept himself onside. Went up for the ball, pushes him down, and then jumps on to make the tackle. I feel sorry for Luke Patton there. Wayne, wasn't one Bulldog player around there to help him. No one turned up.
Yeah, no, I mean, they're just still struggling. They've come out this second half. You would expect them to have been fired up, to be pumped up. They've had a couple of errors the first couple of sets that they've touched the football, and we're back in the same situation. We saw them in the first half where they're looking around to say who's going to be hitting the ball up, who's going to make the tackles.
Ball has come out the back. Now Orford in possession from Manly, looking for a runner. And he's lost the ball. One-on-one steal. Sonny Bill has come up with it. And so a couple of errors being made in the last few minutes, or the first opening 4.5 minutes from both sides. And Sonny Bill offloads to Perry. Holdsworth. Now Grimaldi at Orford. There's no way through there. Terrific tackle again from Steve Maddai after the initial contact was made by Matt Orford. Emilio just losing his footing then. I hope he hasn't hurt himself. I think he has. He just stepped and lost all traction. We've seen that a few times in games here at Telstra Stadium.
Yeah, the way that Ben Kennedy was pointing, he might have heard something snap, something go, because it must have been something audible, something he could hear, because automatically, yeah, you could see his leg go, and maybe Ben Kennedy pointed to the sideline, must have heard something straight away. Oh, looked awkward.
Doesn't look good, does it? Trying to put the big step on, and that right foot just extending out. That's the sort of competitor Ben Kennedy is, though, isn't it, Wayne? Straight away, he knows the player is injured. Call to the referee.
He's playing on Emilio, but I don't know how much longer. He'll come from the field. They're trying to get him off. They should have got him off instead of playing the ball. Now, as he comes from the field, they're one short on the defensive line. He hasn't come from the field yet. Willie Mason's waiting to come on. And the poor bloke has taken forever to get off because he's in pain, and they're one short. Now Willie Mason goes on. Why not make the interchange when he's hurt? Dunley has lost the ball, so Manly haven't completed a set in the second half, I don't think. Maybe one.
But the Dogs are making it easy for Manly defence line because they're only really taking it one off the ruck.
They've only got to their kick once, and that was when they forced Patton in goal for back-to-backs, but they've made a few errors. And merely solid tackle there. Contact made, the tackle not completed by King. And Menzies wraps up Willie Tonga. Ahmed almost, in fact, does step past Travis Burns. They're only 2 metres away, the Bulldogs. Holdsworth. There was no runners there for him, and so Watmough made an easy tackle with Orford. Ryan, short pass there to Sonny Bill Williams, over the top from El Masri to Patton. Now back to Holdsworth. No runners again, he takes the tackle on 5. They're a little bit short to the right, Manly, they go that way. Ryan runs away. El Masri just throws it over his head, and Holdsworth has knocked it on. There was about 3 tackles in a row there. The Bulldogs just looked as though no one knew what was going on or would take control.
That's the word, control. They need someone to control this game for Manly, and Holdsworth certainly is not doing it. René Mautua is not doing it either. So their halves are really struggling to control this game, and they're just playing catch and pass.
Now a one-on-one steal here. Manly has lost the ball. Maddai. What has gone on since half-time? Willie Mason for both sides. Now at the back to Perry. Surely they can't keep holding on here, Manly. That's off Kennedy's hands. So 6 to go. Quick pass from Ryan. To the corner goes Hazem El Masri. The Manly defence is over there to make the tackle. Steve Maddai, who cocked possession up, made the tackle. Now Sonny Bill Williams goes back. He reaches out. He's only half a metre short. Did he lose it? He did. He thought about, I think, reaching out. He says it's a strip. He's making the tackle.
No, I don't think he dropped that ball at all. I thought that should have just been to play the ball.
Yeah, I agree with you, Wiz. I mean, it looked to me as though there was the Manly arm in there, and I don't think the ball came loose at all. So that's a dud call that went against Sonny Bill, who's entitled to blow up on that occasion.
But why hasn't the video referee, we've shown it very, very quickly. Surely he can go back and say, look, you've got that wrong. It's a play the ball. We've done it in other games. We just pick and choose the games we want to do it in, or what? That's crucial. I know the scoreline doesn't indicate it, 28-6. They have another shot there to score. They're only probably 18 points behind.
You could see the second half completion rates. Manly just all of a sudden
Junior
started dropping the ball. There's another opportunity, and they've turned it over again, although Kennedy there was no knock on there, was there? There was. Manly are doing their best to throw this game away.
Oh, I don't know what you've done to them, Junior, but whatever you said, they're all now trying to throw the ball around, coming up with mistakes. Kennedy comes with a knock on there.
I didn't duck down the sheds at half-time because I was doing other things. What were you doing?
I don't know what's happening at half-time. You just see there, Ben Kennedy saying 1 set, 1 minute, got to defend.
Has been right from the kickoff to this second half when Anthony Watmough dropped the ball inexplicably from the restart. So the Bulldogs with another opportunity to narrow the gap. Tonga. We've only had 9 minutes of play in the second half. Ryan still pumping those legs. Dunley making the tackle. Watmough in there as well. Holdsworth. O'Mealy. Easy move for the defence, but the offload was a ripper. Matua just couldn't get the ball over the back because they had 4 on 2. Quick play the ball though. Holdsworth. Ball bouncing into space. Sonny Bill with a bit of a juggle. And the Manly defence has him covered, although somehow he gets the pass away to Hazem El Masri. And Brent Kite makes the tackle. Here's the last for the Bulldogs. Holdsworth kicking to the wing of Robertson, but there's no one over there. And the winger is able to get up and go again. Sonny Bill Williams tried to knock the ball out of his hand. And they finally bring him to ground.
The kick across here was the last throw of the dice there for the Dogs in terms of trying to score on that set. But Gary Freeman hit the nail on the head a little bit earlier. The halves aren't gelling, aren't clicking. Daniel Holdsworth looks a bit lost out there in terms of trying to organise the attack. Randy Matua is an outstanding player, but I think he's much better placed in the back row over second row a lot. And as a result, the back line stifled because the half 5-8 aren't working in combination.
Yeah, you were still holding him though. You're holding him.
Only Adam Perry actually got his hand stuck here. And Ben Kennedy did a very, very good job in milking this penalty. That's experience looking up, saying, look, he's still holding on to me. But the halves in any team have got to start being a bit more creative, and that's what the Bulldogs aren't doing. They're down there, and the last resort, as we said, they did the kick, but other than that, they had nothing organised.
Kite. Just across field. So easy meat for the defence of the Bulldogs. Arm it there. So to Perry. Could easily have conceded another penalty there. Testing the patience of Sean Hampstead. And Kennedy is now tackled 20 metres out. Watmough gets to within 10 metres of the goal line. If Manly score here, that is the ball game. Kite backing his way towards the goal line. Last tackle here. Orford kicking back towards the post. Travis Burns knocked over. Was he obstructed? He was. Penalty.
You took him out. You took him out.
Will they take the 2 here or try and put it?
You stepped into it. Can't do that.
Beyond doubt and go for the 6.
I think they will go for the 2. Ben Kennedy looks around. Goes up to the referee. Will have a shot. They know they've been making a few errors in this game. A good little kick back inside. He may be just offside a fraction. Mark O'Mealy is the man that comes up with the hit. He's penalised, and the referee, Sean Hampstead, in perfect position to make that decision.
This will be give 2 points, you would suggest, for Matt Orford. That would make it 4 converted tries. And the Bulldogs just don't look like getting across the line of the line.
Well, the disappointing thing has been the fact that they've had 4 sets of 6 deep down inside the Manly territory, right down inside their 20-metre zone, actually. And they just haven't looked like getting across the try line. They've been disjointed. They haven't looked cohesive at all. Struggling for creativity and options.
Orford. Literally right in front, adds the extra 2. So 30 points to 6. And while that was happening, Tony Grimaldi has come to the bench for the Bulldogs. He's made 36 tackles.
Before you can do any sort of attack, number one, you've got to hold the ball, which they didn't do in the first half. And number 2, you've got to get your halves in there and be a little bit of creativity about both of them.
Kite
next week, you've got to start Sonny Bill Williams. Don't bring him from the bench. If he's going to get injured, he's going to get injured. It's just part of the game. That's what happens. You've got to have your best 13 start the game.
The disappointing thing with Sonny Bill is a number of times he's been out there hitting the ball up one off the ruck. Sonny Bill is most dangerous when you're getting one-on-one, a couple of passes wide of the ruck. He's going to beat the first man or get his arms free every time. That's where they've got to get him playing, and I think that's where he's going to cause havoc for the opposition.
Kennedy. Now back to King. Just running like a bit of halfback there with the ball out in front, dodging and weaving.
Most front rows will tell you that's what they are, halfbacks.
Orford with a little chip. Can he get the bounce? He does. Where's the support? Brent Kite. Now Burns. They've bombed at Manly. Can he pick it up? No, he can't.
Change over.
They butchered an absolute certain try.
And that's the difference between the two sides. Matty Orford, the little chip over the top, the regather. Brent Kite's coming up on his right-hand edge there. And just a little bit unlucky there with the knock-on. But that's the difference. He's starting, his kicking game's good. He's organising the team. He's got players off him, running inside and outside. And Bulldogs just haven't got that.
And the pass was flat at best. The referee and touch judges say play on. Now Willie Mason over the 40. Marco Mealy comes off and Roy Azatazi goes on for the Bulldogs. Their 7th interchange of the game. Now Matua turns it inside to Brad Moran, who's having a run for the first time. And Luke Williamson will be soon having his first run for Manly. Holsworth puts it high. Is it too deep? No, it's beautifully weighted. And Chris Hicks was in the field to play, but no real pressure from the Bulldogs' chase.
No, but he's been strong at the back, Chris Hicks as well, deputising out there for Brett Stewart, who's out with a broken hand. And Stephen Bell, away again.
And the tackle was made by Roy Azatazi, and it had to be made too because he'd beaten Patton and he was away, Stephen Bell. Now Dunley.
L3, Adam Perry, let him go.
A couple of metres short of the halfway line. A bit of a flat spot here for Manly, so Burns decides to take it forward. Back to Orford. Now Kite running back towards the middle of the ruck, away from Willie Mason. Hit by Andrew Ryan. Ben Kennedy coming from the field now for Manly. 23 minutes of play remaining on the last tackle. Orford puts the ball towards the in-goal area. Here comes Utai. Travis Burns tried to milk the penalty and let Matt Utai into open space, and Luke Williamson, who's just come on for Kennedy, comes up with a very important one-on-one tackle. But Travis Burns there tried to get the penalty and forgot about tackling the man with the football.
I think now they've got to throw caution to the wind here. The Bulldogs down by 24 points. They've got to start using the ball a little bit wider.
Mason. Arms free, but there's no one to pass to.
Agree with you totally.
Matua. Now Azatazi. Support arriving from Moran. Get up and go again, says the referee. Through the tackle of Bell. Great ball. Now they're a chance. Tonga looking for a double. He just throws it out the back to Utai, and Utai will score. They kept it alive. This time they had support. And while there's life, there's hope for the Bulldogs. It's still 20 the difference, though, with 22 minutes remaining.
Well, that's what they needed, the Bulldogs. They needed to get back into this match. Gets them a little bit closer now with 20 points, but really nothing organised once again, just playing the numbers game. I thought then the referee could have said play the ball, but he said no, play on. He got up, he did the right thing, Roy Azatazi. But again, just a couple of people dropping off their tackles in the Manly side, which allows Matt Utai to score the try.
Yeah, the Dogs just keeping the ball alive on this occasion. I thought Roy Azatazi could have been penalised on that occasion. They keep the ball alive, and Manly just ran out of troops in the end. It was great hands by Matt Utai to come up with the try.
So Hazem El Masri has already 1 from 1 today. An easier kick than he had last time, but still a tough one, and he's just pulled it to the left. And so 20 points the difference with 21 minutes of play remaining. And it would have to be a remarkable turnaround here for the Dogs.
It will be. It'll have to be. They're just playing with no confidence. They're not backing each other up. This is probably one of the few times in the game when they've scored this try here that they've actually decided to back each other up. And that's what they've been known to do over the years. The Bulldogs, they play that little short passing game, and they always manage to poke their nose through the line of defence, then look to offload. I think the message has got to go from Stephen Fakes. We've got to use the ball wide. Get it out nice and wide. We've got two centres out there that hardly seen the ball wide. Great defence.
As Tazi returning the football, the man around the legs was Brent Kite. Mark Bryant was involved over the top, and they're certainly muscling up on this set here. Manly trying to force the error and not giving the Bulldogs the opportunity to get back in the game. As Moran has tackled. Matai once again involved defensively.
If they can get just past Matai, they can make some breaks and create some opportunities for themselves. But it's getting there the hard part. Here they go wide again.
Tonga. And Travis Burns makes the tackle again. Just over the halfway line. Now Holdsworth with the kick. Robertson is back there, but it bounces nicely for Chris Hicks. And he returns it towards the 20. And Sonny Bill Williams is there to make the tackle. Watmo. It's the 40-metre line. Manly's end of the field he'll play it on inside the final 20 minutes of this match. Kite.
He's played tough today, Brent Kite. I mean, he's stepped up and he's taken the Bulldogs forwards on. And I think Jason King up front with him. The two of them are really out-muscled the Bulldogs forwards, particularly that front row, Mark O'Mealy and Roy Asatasa. They've got over the top of them.
Tony Grimaldi getting ready to come back for the Bulldogs as Sonny Bill Williams is tackled. There's Tony Grimaldi. 36 tackles in the match so far.
Good hit, Matai again. That's a great hit.
He's a front rower playing out the centres, isn't he, Steve Matai? Front rower that can run quick.
Down the short side where Matai has just come in to make the tackle. He was able to get back and help Hicks, who brings down Sonny Bill Williams. Ryan, and Chris Hicks is offside, and there's the penalty.
No advantage. No advantage.
It wasn't.
I know throw it in there, but there's not much I can do about it. No advantage.
Quick tap taken by Corey Hughes. Now, Willie Mason. Sonny Bill. A little bit of trouble in back play, just sucking in the deep ones. Matua breaks through a tackle. Can he reach out and force it? He's forced back. They need a try here, the Dogs, and they need it quickly. Willie Mason, no way through. Great defence. Watmo is there. Clyde also.
You might score, Willie. You might score, mate.
Holdsworth shows it. Ryan, now Sonny Bill Williams for the corner. Can he get it down? I think the ball was on the line.
That'll be the fourth tackle. Just check he didn't get that to the line just here before it was pushed back.
Phil Curley will check.
Great play.
I think he might have got there, although Sonny Bill is not that confident.
I want to know how he got his hands out of there. And there's the ball stolen. He's still got control of the football there. And if that goes on the line, that's a try, mate. That's a try. And I just think that's what they've got to do. Keep going.
There's the try. Sonny Bill Williams, has he given the Bulldogs a little bit of a sniff? 16 the difference. We'll see whether Haslam can convert.
Well, he's looked dangerous every time he's touched the football. We know when you get him one-on-one, he is almost impossible to stop, and he can get his arms free at almost every opportunity. There, no human being should score a try from there, given the defensive line, but he's not a normal footballer, Sonny Bill, and somehow he manages to contort his body and get the arm free. And Shane Dunley says, where did that come from? Because that shouldn't have happened. And tremendous. He's been great since he's been out there. Come up with a few errors, but that's because he's trying to make something happen. At least he's trying to lift this side and doing a great job too.
Remember back to round 25, 2004 at Oakey Jubilee Stadium. Manly led St George Illawarra 34-10 with 27 minutes to play and got beaten.
What are you trying to say?
Different Manly side, I know, but
let's see if he adds the two.
Oh, there's hope for the Bulldogs supporters. Hazem El Masri. Oh, you don't see that too often. He's missed 2 in a row. He's kicked 1 from 3, and that one wasn't even close for Hazem El Masri's standards. So 16 the difference. If he converts that, just continues that build, doesn't it?
Yeah, the momentum certainly starts to grow with the Bulldogs. But when that try was scored, Maddai, he had to come in and make a tackle. Des Hasler goes for the microphone, telling them to work a little bit harder.
And I think Des realises that Manly are going to do it a little bit tough this last 15 minutes because of the tough contest they had last week against the Dragons. It was a very physical encounter, and they lost 26-24. You lose by a couple of points when you throw everything into it. It's always difficult to back up the next week. They've started this game not at 100%, but well enough to be in control. But they've got to dig deep as the fatigue sets in this last 15 minutes.
And Ben Kennedy will be back shortly, you would think, for Manly, as Hughes kicks, and that's a shocking kick. And that may be the impetus that Manly needs. He tried for a 40-20, came off the side of his boot. And I think the fact that he was trying for a 40-20 right on the 40-metre line just put him off a little bit. So Manly will get the loosen feed.
I'll tell you what, Holdsworth was on that right-hand side. He wanted the ball. He was going to kick anyway. And Corey Hughes just jumped out. He got a bad knock here. A bit of a cut.
Steve Maddai.
I think, Mark, that's where they got to attack, because Maddai, he's a great defender, but if he plays it up and you get the second man play going, he can create some opportunities on the edge.
As he tries for that big hit.
Oh, always, yeah. And I reckon they go there, the Bulldogs, and play a second man play, then they'll get some results.
The problem they've got is their forwards have got to start getting some yardage to create the time and space for them to get the ball out wide. That hasn't happened today. The Manly forwards have outplayed the Bulldogs forwards, and it's created problems in terms of them trying to get the ball wide to those attacking players out there.
Ben Kennedy back for Manly. 20 metres out, 14 to go. Monahan, Orford, Hicks, almost bounced away from Sonny Bill Williams, who came again to make the tackle. Last here for Manly, looking for a repeat set. That ball was forward. And it'll be a changeover.
Got a changeover, fellas. Just see how he threw the pass forward.
Just little things now going the way of the Bulldogs. They knew that Sonny Bill Williams was caught at marker. He went out to that left-hand edge, but as you said, you've seen the forward pass. This is where the Dogs have got to chance their arm. They've got to go wide early.
Grimaldi.
He'll turn, off now, let him up.
As the Tazi.
Let him go now.
So time also the enemy here for the Bulldogs, trailing by 16 with 13 to go. And Holdsworth has gifted another try to Manly. Ben Kennedy can't believe his luck. That, by my count, is 4 tries the Dogs have just given to the Sea Eagles, and they've also given them the 2 competition points. 34-14 with a kick from right in front.
And you've got to say, Holdsworth a little bit unlucky there. He got a bad pass. It sort of went behind him. He probably would watch this video and go, well, maybe I should have just jumped on it instead of trying to flick it up. And Kennedy's just come onto the field. It's probably his first touch, other than maybe one tackle. He's come up with a try. I don't know if I've ever seen that before, Wayne.
No, Ben Kennedy, I'm sure, hasn't seen it before in his career. I don't think he's ever scored an easier try, but it was poor service out of dummy half from Corey Hughes. Daniel Holdsworth was in a situation where he realised that now they've got to try and do something. The clock's ticking down, but Ben Kennedy, if there's a player on the field that deserves to score a try and a soft try, it is Ben Kennedy, because he's done all the hard work this afternoon. He's really looked to lift his side. Scores the easiest try of his career.
Matt Orford from right in front. He's already kicked 5 from 6, make that 6 from 7. And so Manly will head back to Brookie with the 2 competition points.
leaked a few points in last year's games, but I tell you what, they're nice and tight, and they're working hard for each other. And Des Hazell will be certainly very, very happy with this result.
Well, the Bulldogs have had it over Manly in recent years. They've won 7 of the last 8. And Manly has only beaten the Bulldogs once away since 1995. That was last year here, 18-10. So back-to-back wins at Telstra Stadium for Manly against the Bulldogs as Monahan kicks and Utai is back, and the chase from Manly with 10 minutes remaining. They're up there in numbers and forcing Utai back.
And it's a good place to kick too, put Utai under pressure. He's been out of the game for a couple of weeks, and make him work overtime and bring in the football back. And now here goes Sonny Bill Williams trying to spark something for the Bulldogs side, and they monster him.
Yeah, but he shouldn't be running in there. That's the job of the other tight forwards, to get him some advantage on running. They come up with another mistake. Sonny Bill should be running wider, getting him one-on-one with those outside edge backs, and he's going to create havoc every time. Where are the bigger the tighter forwards, getting him over the advantage line, allowing this sort of player, Sonny Bill, once-in-a-lifetime type forward, to be able to run wide of the ruck?
Ready Matua getting a hand to that pass.
Dogs, Manly's got the lead. Right, Phil. Down.
So Manly, can they register 40 points here? We haven't seen Stephen Bell score a try today. And Hicks gets up gingerly. Hurt his leg in the first half too. That would be a blow if they lose him. Williamson, Matt-Eye, ball really thumped into his chest, just too flat for the pass. And so the scrum will pack down, and the Bulldogs will get an opportunity. They're packed, they're ready to go.
We said that before about Chris Hicks. He's leaving the field now with assisted with the trainer. And he's had a fine game at the back there. He's coming for Brent Stewart, and this is the tackle, nice and low. And I think he just may have twisted his knee, a fracture there. You see him go over straight away, and he's assisted from the field. Like I said, he's had a pretty good game today, Hicks.
Of course, he's moved back to fullback because Brent Stewart is out with a hand injury. Well, it's been that sort of a day for the Bulldogs.
They'll be disappointed in their performance today. Patton just taking his eyes off the ball for 1 second. You just got to look up and you got to start over again. That's all you can do.
Yeah, they played in patches last week against the Rabbitohs, the Bulldogs. They came up with the victory, but they weren't real impressive. And today, they've just come out, and from the word go, we talked about how flat they looked, and they haven't really got going. They haven't really clicked into gear, and Manly have made them pay the price.
And next week they travel to New Zealand to take on the Warriors. And Manly plays Parramatta at the SCG.
Hands off now, let him up.
Playing the Warriors next week, the Bulldogs, they'll have to make sure they fix up their defence, because the Warriors, they can score tries. Got a bit more confidence after that win yesterday too against South.
Bell, can he get himself a try? He can! He continues. 8 tries from 7 games for Stephen Bell. Can he score a try?
He certainly can. He can score them, he can create them. Just a little defensive lapse, I should say, from Willie Tonga. A nice long ball. Look to get on the outside of his man, knowing that the Bulldogs always play that up and in style of defence. It's a great pass here. Burns is the man, and he just brushes away Tonga to score the easy try.
Yeah, he's done well since he's come into first grade, Travis Burns. Manages to get the wide pass. The wide pass to Stephen Bell allows him to get on the outside of Willie Tonga. And when you've got a man with the acceleration of Stephen Bell getting on the outside of you, it's very difficult to make the tackle. And 8 tries for the season. He's a tremendous competitor.
So Matt Orford has had the boots on today. And this one just to the left. And the Bulldogs fans have had enough today. 40 points to 14. Empty seats, and they're all leaving early.
It's not like them, is it? They stay here to the death. I think they'll be a bit disappointed in the way their team has played today. Said at the start, Wayne Pearce did say it, lack of enthusiasm. Sometimes that's all you need to play rugby league. You can have all the other fancy stuff, but if you're not enthusiastic, nothing's going to happen for you. You've got to try and make it happen yourself.
Keep him down.
40 points to 14. I'm sure in their wildest dreams, Manly supporters, players and coaching staff would not have thought, Brad Moran penalty there, would not have thought they would A, put 40 on the Bulldogs, and B, win by 26 points and have the game literally wrapped up at half-time.
And it's not just today's performance, but you talk about the way that Manly has improved, and Des Hasler's done a tremendous job so far this year. They were very ordinary the first couple of games. Against the Raiders, I thought they were real disappointing. Against the Cowboys, they struggled. But then they've come back with wins against the Sharks, the Roosters, the Warriors. Last week against the Dragons in one of the best games of the season, they just got pipped, and they managed to pick themselves up emotionally after that loss and come away with a big victory here today. So, yeah, the club's looking very, very well, and you know, I think that they're going to. There's no doubt they're going to have a big season.
Orford. Now the ball, short ball to Watford. Last tackle here for Manly. Orford's to the left. Monahan goes that way. He kicks back to the right. Here comes Menzies. Hasn't scored a try yet this year, but he will get another set.
Good play. Just like Orford, just going to the line down that left side, and then puts it over the back infield. And just lucky, really, for the Bulldogs players that someone was back there covering, which they haven't been doing so well.
And we should talk about Andrew Johnson's kicking game and the variation he's got in his kicking game. Matty Orford is very quickly bridging the gap between the quality of the kicking games that Andrew Johnson's got and the rest of the halfbacks in the competition. He's got the variation, inside, outside, long game, short game, and he reads it perfectly.
Sonny Bill and a couple of big shoulder charges. The second one being on Monahan. So inside the final 5.
I'm sure Steve Folkes will be thinking, how do I transplant the passion that Sonny Bill Williams plays the game with into the other players in the team? Because if they all play with the same sort of passion, they're going to make a few mistakes, but I tell you what, they'll win more games than they lose.
That was Burns into half a gap. It was closed quickly by Rennie Matua. Orford looking for a runner, trying to back his way through. Azatazi with the tackle. Last here for Manly. That's Orford got up his sleeve this time. The short kick. Here comes Burns. Patton, can he go 100? 2 weeks in a row. No, he can't.
Good tackle as a Matty Orford. Put the little kick in and regathered his feet and come across to make the tackle. But this is what's let the Bulldogs down here today. Is they all just stand and wait for someone else to come do it, and that's why we see the likes of Sonny Bill Williams coming from the centre position to take it forward, trying to create some opportunities for his own players.
We know Chris Hicks is off the field, but it's interesting to see who the man playing at fullback is for Manly. We can see the headgear in the background. There's Steve Menzies. He's played plenty of positions in his career, but I don't think he's played too many games at fullback.
He'll be put under some sort of pressure with a kick, let me tell you.
Well, they'll kick to him now. Let's see the return. They're going to run it here, the Bulldogs. They're going to run it. Now Sonny Bill Williams and Steve Maddai is away. The ball back to Hazem El Masri. Orford. He then throws it to Menzies, the fullback, into open space. Away from one. He's lost a boot, which has been thrown away by Corey Hughes.
Wouldn't be any other player but Corey Hughes to do that.
I don't think it's going to worry Steve Menzies at 40 to 14. Just means that he's going to have some time to put it back on and may miss out on scoring his first try of the year.
I think he's going to go back and just wait for the kick return again.
Dunley. Here's Travis Burns into half a gap. Now it's back to Dunley. He's tripped over as well. A lot of dirt goes up. Tackled there by Willie Tonga. Monahan, Orford, kicking. The chase. Robertson, can he get the bounces? Just got away from him. Was he tackled by Hazem El Masri, or did he fall over? Looks like he fell over and looks down at the grass.
Yeah, I think he just fell over. He's got some pace, hasn't he? Robertson with a great little grubber here once again, bringing the defence of the Bulldogs off their line. Yeah, he just fell over. Very, very quick, though. Just didn't get that
fast-looking hairdo there too, isn't he? Bit like yours, plenty of gel, I think. Product.
I'm just happy my hair's there.
Ditto.
Patton. Two in the tackle.
Two in the tackle.
He has given away a couple of penalties this afternoon, Steve Maddai.
I don't think he'd mind, and I don't think his coach will mind too. No. Two of them have been for the tackle and then the steal the ball there. Two in the tackle. He's had a fine game, Steve Maddai.
Terrific kick. They're trying to finish on a high, the Bulldogs. They trail 40 points to 14. And merely straight at Bryant, and he's lost the football. Did he lose or did he pass? It happened so quickly.
No, he passed the ball, mate. He's gone to the line. He's done that about 3 or 4 times today.
Dunley. And Moran wraps him up. Dunley's slow to his feet as Manly wind it down for an emphatic victory over the Bulldogs. Orford. Now Maddai. And nearly with the tackle. Steve Maddai hurt himself there. I think he has. What a time to do it too. In the final minute of the game. He had a calf injury earlier in the year and missed a couple of games, but it looks like it might be an ankle.
Yeah, it looked like his right ankle there got caught underneath the leg of, I think, Mark O'Mealy. Right ankle. Bang.
On your fourth tackle.
Be disappointed they lose him for a couple of weeks. It's been an outstanding form.
He's back to his feet, and they're going his way again. And now, the cutout ball was to Maddai. There was no way he could reach it. Now Orford accelerates through half a gap, just flicks it out the back. The ball went forward anyway, and now the Bulldogs have picked it up. Hazem El Masri. The clock is counting down. Only seconds remain. Tonga. And that'll do us at Telstra Stadium, full time. And Manly, an emphatic 40 points to 14 win over the Bulldogs.
This has been a Fox Sports production for the National Rugby League Partnership.
To the fullback position, arguably part of the quickest back three in the league. Former Canberra flyer Michael Robertson on one flank, the experienced Chris Hicks on the other. The centres are in tremendous form. Stephen Bell has scored 8 tries in 7 matches since joining the Eagles. Maybe not getting the same kind of raps, but Steve Maddai has been superb on the left side. One of the real finds of the year has been their 21-year-old 5'8" Travis Burns. Not much of him, but a real go-getter. While Matt Orford obviously has found his feet since his high-profile move coming up from Melbourne. Over 550 first-grade games experience in their back row, Ben Kennedy locks the scrum. He is the captain and should find himself in an Australian jersey tonight. Stephen Menzies just 4 shy of becoming the 9th player to play 300 first-grade games. Anthony Watmoe made his origin debut last year for the Blues. There is size in their front row with Jason King and Brent Kite. Their hooker, Michael Monaghan, has slotted in nicely to the number 9 role. Does give them another kicking option also. Their interchange, Shane Dunley, who had a season with the Eels back in 2003, alongside Luke Williamson. Big Mark Bryant and Adam Cuthbertson, who is a local junior, has been brought into the squad, jersey 18, coached by Des Hasler.
Here's the Parramatta Eels team for today at fullback, Wade McKinnon. I've spoken about him on the wings, and it's Matt Peterson and Eric Grant. He is in scintillating form, the best of his career. There's no doubt about that. The centres, well, we've got young Brett Delaney and Tamana Tahu. Tamana Tahu plays on the left. That means he's going to be directly opposite Stephen Bell for Manly. That battle alone is worth the price of admission. In the halves, Jeremy Smith and Tim Smith. Tim Smith, I think the cricket ground will suit his style of play. A short kicking game, he'll get good value in behind behind the goals there. I can see Eels coming up with a lot of short attacking kicks this afternoon. Have a look at this back row of forwards. These three players can all play for 80 minutes. You've got Glenn Morrison, Chad Robinson, and you've got Nathan Hindmarsh. Can all play for 80 minutes, all good in attack and defence. And when you've got such a mobile, fit back row, it takes a lot of pressure off the interchange for your coach, because these fellas can go the distance. In the front row, we've got Nathan Kalis, who's the captain, John Morris and Michael Vella. Off the bench today for Parramatta. Now, this is where they can win the game. You find me two better interchange players than these fellas, Mark Riddell and Dean Witters. And Brian Smith uses them very, very strategically. The other two, Fui Moi Moi, who's got plenty of impact as well, and Adam Peake, he'll just interchange with the front rowers.
I remember calling it for radio in those days. Stephen Clark, his 272nd first grade game. So Parramatta running towards the Randwick end of the ground, and a very good chase on the kickoff by Parramatta saw Tamana Tahu make the first tackle on the Sea Eagles wing three-quarter Chris Hicks, who was under an injury cloud coming into the game. So the second play of the day, and this is Brent Kite taking it towards centre ground. He's 22 metres away from his own line. They're running up towards the Paddington end of the ground, and Kennedy gets his first touch on the 30-metre line. You've heard the call, dominant. That means the defenders can take a little bit more time to get off him, but they can't go to sleep there, and they have given a penalty.
Mate, you got it, mate. It was him.
Kalis and Vella, and you would have heard at the back end of the conversation, Kalis said, "It wasn't us, sir, it was him."
Hold him, boys.
But I suppose that'd be a natural thing to plead.
That's one.
This is King. Jason King, arguably the biggest man on the ground. Manly's number 8. They're 35 metres away from the M.A. Noble stand end of the ground as they run towards it. Menzies, tryless this year. Prolific try scorer during the mid-90s, playing in the green and gold. Orford then, away for Kennedy. Offers him the run around, but Kennedy then tries to go ahead before Kalis is there to pull him down again with Vella. Getting involved, Morrison. Orford working something on the blind side. The cross kick, read by McKinnon. Bounces up, then decides to try and surrender.
Move! Marcus straight! Go!
So Parramatta back on their own try line. Matai goes in jumper number 4, making the tackle with his captain Kennedy. And a penalty goes. It goes against Matai. I'm just listening to Stephen Clark. It's against the marker for not being straight, the number 4, Matai. When he says that, he means not directly in front of the man playing the ball. So they find the line 35 metres away from their own line.
And both teams happy to get a penalty in their opening set of 6, made it easier to get it out of the danger end. Nathan Hindmarsh striving towards the halfway mark. Both teams looking to get good starts. Try and get some momentum early in this game.
Vella, he was squashed under that tackle from Monaghan. It was a good tackle by the number 9, former Manly captain. Parramatta used the ball through the hands. They go extreme left over towards the O'Reilly stand side of the ground with Tahu. Now Gross. And from dummy half, Morris makes good ground. Oh, Kalis spun towards the defence and passed with his back on the defence. This is Stephen Bell. 8 tries from 7 games this year. And I know Peter Sterling is one of his greatest admirers. Menzies, Manly appealing for a penalty. They felt that Parramatta might have lifted him above the horizontal, or certainly came up with the legs. On the 30-metre line now for Manly. Manly, of course, haven't been back to the cricket ground since they won the grand final in 1987 here. Paul Vorton was the captain that day. Des Hasler was in the team. It's a charge down, and Parramatta have got the ball. I thought for a moment Orford was going to come up with all the aces, but Morrison will play the ball right on the halfway line. Hindmarsh getting it away for Jeremy Smith, and he lost his footing there. So it's obviously had a fair bit of water, I would imagine, on it around the cricket pitch area. Movement means